everything he could last night in Utah's overtime loss to the Denver Nuggets. His 57-point game ranks as the third most all-time in NBA playoff history, behind only Elgin Baylor and Michael Jordan. Mitchell did make a costly mistake when he was called for an 8-second violation up 4 with under 2 minutes left that allowed Denver back in the game. So, Shannon, what was your biggest takeaway from this one?
It was a historic performance, Skip. I did not see this coming, and I saw him get it going early, but I didn't think. I said, okay, he get high 30s, maybe 40. Skip, I didn't see 57. And I've seen a lot of great playoff performances. But, Skip, this is unbelievable what this kid was doing. I mean, he was attacking the rim, in mid-range game, he was shooting the three, he was perfect from the free throw line, but it was his costly mistake. Skip, they're up 4 points. They're up 4 with a chance to go up 6.
Yep.
He gets that violation, and the Nuggets come right back and drill a 3, and now what could have been a 6-point lead is all of a sudden a 1-point lead. And they really never got momentum back into the ball game. And the only thing that, and Jamal Murray was equally as hot as Donovan Mitchell, but the difference was Jamal Murray had his guys to come along with him. In the fourth quarter, Donovan had 22. He had another 6 in overtime, so that's 28 points in the fourth quarter in overtime. None of his other teammates had more than 4 points. Where you had Murray go hot, and then you get Jokic doing what he does. Jeremy Grant was unbelievable down the stretch. But, Skip, Donovan Mitchell performance, Skip, that's one for the ages. That's the most points ever in a playoff loss. It topped LeBron's. Remember, LeBron had 51 in the playoff loss last year, Skip. I don't even know what to say. You know, when LeBron said that, you know, the NBA is in great hands with these young guys, Skip, these guys are doing it. I mean, 57, 57 from this guy. And then you get Doncic go for 42. And you get Tatum, the youngest Celtic ever with a 30-10 game. And when you talk about the youngest Celtic, think about the Celtics, you go, all those legends that they got. And this kid. So this was a great performance. And I was like, and normally Utah, you're like, man, they boring. But you couldn't move, Skip. He had you captivated.
Yep. Which brings me to my bottom line. I would like to thank both of these young men for putting on one of the greatest shows of clutch shooting down the stretch for the last 6.5 minutes of that game as I have ever witnessed mano a mano. Back and forth. Can you top this? Yes, I can. Can you top that? Yes, I will. And it was a privilege. It was an honor to watch it, and it was the most fun I've had watching sports in about 6 months. It might qualify as some of the most fun I've had watching NBA basketball in my life, and I've watched a whole lot of NBA basketball because these two young men said, no, 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 no. And if we could see the tape, I just had them pull the tape of the last 9 shots made, the first couple, or maybe a couple are from Donovan, but you can just see what starts happening here. It's Donovan, he tacks the rim. Okay, he scores the first. That's at 6:29 left. And here comes Donovan again. And he just pulls up right in the face of the defender and kaboom.
He's feeling it.
Yep, he is feeling it. Now it's Jamal Murray's turn, and he pulls up and goes up and under 18 feet, and he makes it. Now we go back to Donovan Mitchell from 3. That's getting crazy hot right there. Yep, and here we go with another attack the rim from Donovan Mitchell. Woo, woo, woo. He's got lots of game.
I did not see this at Louisville.
And here we go. Jamal Murray says, no, it's my turn. That's 1:39 left to cut it to 1. And now he's going to tie the game with a step back. That tied it at 1:25. And here he goes with another step back. Look at this. Woo, on a string. And that put them up 2. And then Donovan Mitchell tied it again with that.
With his step back.
Oh, God. That was a showcase of shootout. And here's what I was left with. Remember, Donovan Mitchell is 6 feet 1 inches tall. So he's not a giant.
Right.
Jamal is taller. He's listed at 6'4". He doesn't play that tall. He looks like he's more 6'2"-ish, but he is 6'4". Okay, so that brings us back to tonight's game. And you know my issues with Damian Lillard. So I'm going to go back into this one last time ahead of tonight because we've seen Dame just go crazy hot for long stretches. And you say he has completely convinced you. We've seen 61 and 51 and what else?
42 and 12.
Whew. We've seen that, but we haven't seen what I just showed you. We haven't seen him close a deal the way Jamal did. Remember, that game went to overtime.
Right.
And remember, Jamal scored 18 of his 36 points in the last 139 of regulation and in overtime.
Right.
That's 18 points in 139 plus 5 more minutes. It was 8 points in the last 139 and then 10 in overtime. That's half of his 36 came late. Well, he just closed the deal. And again, you mentioned he gets some help from teammates, but mostly he was just saying, no, I got this.
Yeah, but Utah couldn't get any stops, Skip. They allowed him to shoot 67% from the three in the fourth quarter, 60% from the field. You got to get some stops.
Okay, so here's my issue to sum it up one last time ahead of tonight's game with Dame. This is his greatest opportunity to show he can close deals because remember, he's gotten swept out of the last 2 playoffs, 2018 against New Orleans, he got swept and he was not good in 4 straight fourth quarters of those games. Then last year we talked and talked, I've talked it to death, I'm beating the dead horse, but against Golden State without Kevin Durant, 4 straight close games going to the fourth quarter, he didn't do Dame stuff. He didn't do what you say he didn't do superstar. He didn't do life changer where he just says, I'm that guy now. I have arrived, and I got you, Steph, and I got you, Clay. Watch this. CJ was equally bad. Maybe you could argue CJ was even worse in those 4 fourth quarters and 1 overtime, which brings me to the bubble. As many points as he scored in stretches, against Boston down the stretch, he disappeared. Against the Clippers down the stretch, we know what happened. He had the 2 free throws he missed, and that was against Clippers backups, and he missed the 3 to tie the game, and they lost to a ragamuffin Clipper team at the end of the game. And then we saw in the last 2 games that we saw him play against Brooklyn and then Memphis, over the, 19 minutes and 12 seconds that he's played in the 2 fourth quarters, he hasn't scored a basket. Well, I just showed you Jamal and Donovan and Jamal. Well, the guy that was proclaimed the MVP of the bubble, he's gone 19 minutes and 12 seconds of fourth quarters without he scored points from the free throw line.
Right.
But not, he's made no shot like any of those ones you just saw. So I sat back at the end of that game yesterday and I thought, I just want to see that one time from Damian where he does that to somebody. Where he just says what Donovan was saying, I got this.
Well, you see what happens, though, Skip. At some point in time, if you cool off, and Donovan cooled off in overtime, he didn't have anybody to bring him along. Well, if Donovan doesn't do that, they're not even doesn't get to overtime.
I got it.
But Dame, Skip, he got 61. He had a 51. He had a 42-12.
All right, but I haven't seen him one time close a game the way those 2 young men were closing.
Oh, you saw that against the Lakers when he dropped that 48 on them. Yeah, he closed it.
Well, that was Kobe's eulogy night from LeBron.
Yes, he closed that. He hit those bomb threes.
Okay, I think they won pretty handily that night, as I recall.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it was close, and then he hit a 3. I think they were up 3, and then he hit a 3 with
Okay, well, you can argue the Lakers' minds were elsewhere, right?
Well, Dame put it elsewhere.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, I'm just saying.
Well, I hope he doesn't close. I hope he doesn't close tonight.
Well, I know you have mixed emotions, but this, to me, I don't have your mixed emotions. I just want to see Damian Lillard rise up at the end of a close game.
Why do you want to see that now?
Well, because it's time. Because I haven't seen it before in a playoff game. I haven't seen it.
You want him to rise up and to knock the Lakers out.
No,
That's
I
what
don't.
You want.
I really don't want to see the Lakers knocked out for our sake, our show's sake. I want to see the Lakers and the Clippers. But I would love to see Damian Lillard just say, watch this. It would be great because I haven't seen it before.
I've seen him. Ask Paul George. He said, Paul George, watch this from 37 feet away.
Okay.
Boom. He said, James Harden, watch this from 32 feet away. Boom. Game-ending, series-clinching threes. Is that not closing?
Okay. That was in a first-round playoff matchup, right?
Yeah, what the hell is this about to happen?
All right. Well, this is 1 versus 8. He gets to play 1, and nobody saw this coming, and now everybody sees it coming because Charles Barkley, we used a clip from him early in the show, he is predicting Portland. Greg Anthony is predicting Portland. The odds makers are saying that it's a runaway train, that people are enthralled, is the word. They are enthralled betting on Portland.
If you pick Portland, and they win, you see, I told you they was going to beat the Lakers. You pick Portland, they lose. They were supposed to lose. They were the 8th seed. The Lakers were the 1 seed. You see, I'm telling you, it's like the lottery. I play the lottery. I just have to be right once.
Okay.
And then everything else is all forgotten.
Okay, but the point is, I think people truly believe that Portland has a real shot of winning this series.
Of course.
We had Chris Haynes on. He knows Portland inside and out. He's close with Dame. He knows that they believe they can beat the Lakers right here, right now.
I do not believe they're a better team, and I believe the better team, barring injury, the better team will always win a series. Barring injury, the better team will win the series because you can get lucky and win 1 game. It's hard to get lucky and win 4 games. So
I believe Damian and CJ, I'm not going to leave him out, and I call him CJ as in clutch jumper. I think they're going to have opportunities to come up big and win games. Would you want to be tapping your watch when you're down 0-2 to Dame and CJ? Do you want to be doing it? Dame time? Is that what you want?
you remember my guy
Well,
was
let's
down,
see
hold
it.
on.
I want to see
Do you remember my guy was down 3-1 to a unanimous MVP? A guy that was 73-9 that averaged 35-6?
Yep.
And what did he do? What did he do?
You talking about Steph?
Yeah, I'm just talking about, I'm saying, my guy being down, I don't count my guy out. Until you win 4 and the horn goes off in that last game.
Yep. Your guy is 3-6 in the NBA Finals. That means 6 times he's lost.
About to be 4-6.
Really? About to be not 4-6 because you're not going to get out of the Western Conference.
Okay.
Speaking of your guy, Shannon, did he pull a Kawhi last night? There's actually more to this story. This is good. We'll explain next.